bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black on firm, but we ain't all platforms.
What is up, everybody? It is your girl, Constance Carter. It's the new year. Oh my God. Can I tell you, come on in, my friends. I don't know if you know how much I missed y'all. I was pretty much out the whole month of December, just trying to get my life together. And so I know how fast y'all can forget about your girl. I know how, out of sight, out of mind, but I have not gone anywhere. I was just taking a little break, resetting for the new year. I did so much. I've been so productive, and I just got so much to share with you for today and going forward. Some things that I think is going to add value to your life, that's going to change the trajectory of where you are, where you're going. So while you're here, come in. I need you to go tell everybody Constance Carter is live, and we are going to talk about goal setting in 2026. Okay. But before we do, allow me to introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, I'm Constance Carter. If you're new here, if this is the first time that you are seeing me, and whatever platform you're on, because I'm on about 9 different platforms right now, this is your first time seeing me, know and understand that I come here live just about every day, and I'm always trying to talk about things that's going to add value. I exist, if you didn't know, to help Black people build wealth, maintain their wealth, and pass their wealth on to their kids so that they can leave a legacy. That's why I do this. That's why I come live. That's why I have all the information I have. And if you see any information on any of my pages, you understand, what it is that I do and why I do it, because I love Black people. I love to help. I love to share everything that I've learned. I love to give to other people, because knowledge is free. Information is free. And I've been blessed. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my personal development. I don't have a college degree. I have a PhD, a public high school diploma. But I've spent a lot of money on just bettering myself. I have a chip on my shoulder because I don't have a post-secondary education. And so I've traveled all over the country just pouring into myself. And so what I do is I try to give back to the people that I love. And that's you. That's Black folks. So that's why I come live here every day. Now, understand this. This is a dialogue and not a monologue. What does that mean? It means I want you to talk back to me and talk Black to me. What does that mean? That means your interaction is very important to me. So I always like to know who's watching with me, who's rocking with me. And some of you guys already know the routine. I see Anthony Henderson from North Carolina. So I want to know where you're from, where you're watching from, because I know that we have people that watch from all over the world. I have people that watch from across the pond in the UK. Some folks are watching from Africa. Some people are watching from DC or California. Put in the comments where you're watching from so I can shout you out. The next thing is so let me just go back. There was an article in Forbes magazine in 2017 that said by the year 2053, Black median wealth was going to be a 0. I don't believe that. I did a TED talk back in 2020 during the pandemic. It was actually one of the best TED talks that I've ever seen, if I must say so myself. And I was talking about that very thing. But the premise was that I don't believe that it is going to happen. I believe that Black people are going to rise up. And that's the reason why I do a lot of the videos I do. I don't know if you see my Black History Spotlights, but really the point of that is just to not always, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate white people, or I don't even hate white supremacists. What I hate is white supremacy. What I hate is oppression. And what my goal is I want to inform and educate people on why we're here. Why is it that we're here? It's not to blame anybody, but it is to take a good measure of why it is that we're here, what it is that we're doing, and why we're in the situation that we're in. And then what is the solution? Because I don't want to pontificate ad nauseum about our problems in the Black community, because we have enough people talking about that already. But understand why you're here. Why do we have, the lowest literacy rates? Why do we have the highest impoverished rates? Why do we have the highest, incarceration rates? That's not by happenstance. That was all calculated. That was by design. And so if once we understand why, how we got here and why we're here, then we need to understand how we can get out and how we can elevate so that we're no longer that. And so that TED talk that I was talking about is Google that shit. It was called Google that shit. And I talk about um, how 3 ways or 4 ways that Black people can close the wealth gap. I believe that there's a great equalizer here. I believe that we have the internet. We have all the information that we can get on the internet. That's a beautiful thing. We have Chat GPT and AI and Google Gemini. We have all of those. They done fucked around and made the information is out there. And then we have each other. And the biggest thing that we have to start doing is we have to practice collective economics. The only way that we're going to get out of this conundrum that we are in is if we do it together. United, we stand, divided, we fall. And they have worked overtime in sowing division. Think about this. I'm going to go on a rant real quick. You think about historically what's happened, right? So after emancipation, what happened? Black folks start building towns all over, thriving towns. There was more than Tulsa, the Black Wall Street. We had Black Wall Street all over the country. We had Wilmington, where Black folks were in office. And that was the only coup d'etat that was ever on American soil. And what was it? It was in Black communities. The only bombs ever dropped on American citizens were 2 places. One was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and one was in Philadelphia in 1985 with the MOVE bombing. They've only happened to Black communities. The only time there has been a mass level of murder and pillage. You also have your Native Americans as well, but African Americans, Black people, we have been under attack. So after emancipation, Reconstruction, we are building our towns. We're doing all the things. And then you have the bombings, and then they burn our towns down. And then they start, you have Central Park. Central Park used to be a thriving Black community, but they erased it and built a park over it. You had Lake Lanier, what's known as Lake Lanier now, was a thriving town in Georgia. Now they buried that, and that's all water. You've had urban renewal projects where now all of a sudden we have to build these freeways, and we're going to go out of our way and we're going to build them through Black thriving communities. This has happened all over the country. So every time we've tried to get ahead, every time we take 2 steps forward, they push us 10 steps back. It's by design. Okay. And then you think about, listen, now we starting to get some sense about ourselves, and we start to rise and we start to unify. I'm Black, I'm proud. Our Black leaders start coming in and trying to unify. What do? They assassinate the Black leaders. J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America was Negro unity. So there was an effort with COINTELPRO to disrupt, destroy, and discredit. Discredit, disrupt, and destroy. They did that on purpose. They sowed disruption, and they created discredit. They hired Black people, informants, to come in and sow disruption inside these movements so that we would not unify. The Black Panther was not about killing white people. It was not about any type of radicalness. It was about helping Black people. It was about protecting Black people from police brutality. It was about feeding Black babies. It was about providing health care. Imagine that. Such a radical idea of providing health care for Black people. That's on the radar of the FBI to discredit, disrupt, and destroy. That's what they did. Okay. So every time we've tried to unite, think about this. This is a spiritual thing, though, because it's not just, you got to wonder why are all these efforts to destroy Black people in general? Because we're a powerful people. Okay. Because we're chosen. So then beyond that, now you have crack all of a sudden in our communities. And we later find out from Gary Webb, when he wrote that expose in the San Jose Mercury News, that the CIA was involved in putting crack cocaine in Black communities. They didn't put it in white communities. And then they would do things such as drop crates of guns and guns in these communities. Just now, all of a sudden, we're walking down the street, our kids are walking down the street, and there's a crate of guns so that you can destroy each other. So this was done by design. The CIA planted drugs and guns in the Black community to destroy, to sow destruction. Fast forward to now, even now, So now, okay, so we have the remnants of the crack epidemic in the 80s and the 90s. And then we started to rise again, even in our music. We have positive music. Do you remember the positive music? You remember the pro-black music that we used to have, the African medallions? That's when I was like in high school. And it was positivity. It was about black consciousness. Y'all, anybody remember that? Anybody in the audience remember that? What happened? NWA, gangsta music, and all of a sudden, they stopped putting money behind the positive music and they start pushing the negativity. And our black men were used as pawns. And as a result of that, remember the frequency of music, that vibration of music, the impact that it has on a person's psyche is huge. That caused these young brothers and sisters to start doing things that they had never done before. It gave exposure to things remember banging in Little Rock? People in Little Rock don't know nothing about gang banging from LA, but all of those things it carried, that frequency it carried. This was pushed by the powers that be. Think about this. Tank said, and I know I'm gonna get a strike on my channel for this, but Tank said something that was so poignant. Let me see. I know I have it in here. This was so poignant. Watch this.
Our violence isn't the threat. Our love is. Our family separated. It's fine. It's perfect. The man staying with his family and raising his kids and pouring into his woman. That's the threat. That's why R&B takes such a back seat, because we're not promoting the aesthetic that continues to perpetuate the stereotype. You guys are killers. You guys are animals. You guys are savages. That's when you're at your best. So that's what we're going to reward. Those are the guys who get the $100 million deals. Those are the guys who fill up the arenas and stadiums and talk that shit. We love when you talk that shit. Love? We're cool. We're cool. We don't own conglomerates. It comes down to ownership.
Yep.
We don't own radio. We don't own streaming. We don't own media. We don't own none of it.
This was so important. This is so important for us to understand that this is pushed into the brains of our children. It's pushed into the brains of our young people. They are putting hundreds of millions of dollars to continue to brainwash our children. This is by design. This is the perpetuation of the destruction of Black people. This is all by design. You would never see no Jews with attitude. You will never see a Jewish person calling their women bitches and hoes. You wouldn't see that in the white community. You wouldn't even see that in the Asian community. But this is pushed hundreds of millions of dollars. And we've been pawns of it. You give a young Black man out of the hood an opportunity to make millions, 10, 30, 40 millions of dollars. You think he ain't going to sell out his community? Absolutely. And it's going to our children. So this is by design. And so what my goal is, and what I do, and what my mission is to bring awareness. This is why I do this, is to bring awareness. This is why we're here. This is why the industrial prison complex is so full. I don't know if you know, but the prison systems have a contract with the states, with their states. And the states were responsible for filling up these prisons. And crime has gone down significantly in communities throughout this country. If you look at Baltimore, crime has gone down. If you look at Chicago, crime has gone down. It's gone down in all of these different places. And they're not filling these prisons fast enough. So now you have ICE. Now we're able to get money from ICE. Their contracts are being fulfilled. So this is all capitalism, obviously, right? We know Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't even know you're picking his pockets. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he will give you everything he owns. This is all a ploy by the people in power to keep the rich richer and the poor poor. You got to understand, race is a social construct. Race is a construct, right? Race, Black people, white people, it was all created in the 16 and 1700s to separate. because a lot of people always talk about, especially Irish people. Irish people were slaves too. No, you were indentured servants. You weren't chattel. It wasn't chattel slavery. It wasn't lifetime. But what they did in order to separate, to prevent an uprising, because you have white people working alongside of black people. And what they did is they made white people, they took them out of slavery and they made them a little bit higher and made them the overseers. So now we're better than you. Now you're part of us. It was really the elite sowing division with the poor, and it's still going on today. So that's why you have all of these people. I did a video. Ooh, let me see. I didn't even plan on doing this. I'm gonna get to the goals in a minute, but I did a video about how the rise of white mediocrity and how and the history of that. Let me see if I could find it so I could share it with you, because I think it explains. I think it explains exactly where we are and what we're dealing with. Here it is right here. Let me share my screen with you so that you can see. If you have not seen this video, let me just share it with you. Let's stop pretending this is complicated. Donald Trump didn't rise because he's brilliant. He rose because he's rich, reckless, and protected by a system that rewards whiteness even when it fails. What Trump did was give mediocrity a microphone. He showed America that you do not need intellect, you don't need integrity or competence to gain power. If you got the money, you got the entitlement. He became living proof that average men with no depth can fail upward indefinitely. And mediocre men love him for it, because Trump represents their fantasy. The fantasy that success should be automatic, that power should be inherited, that dominance should be guaranteed, not earned. When reality challenged that fantasy, when Black people started thriving, women started leading, immigrants started building, and education started mattering, they didn't rise to compete. They panicked, and Trump became their security blanket. So let's talk about the truth of who he is. He called countries with Black people in it shithole countries while saying that he wanted more Europeans to immigrate. He spread racist lies about Haitians eating cats and dogs. He said the most vile and disgusting things about Rob Reiner's death. He called Democrats treasonous and suggested they be punished by death. Trump does this every single time he's pressed for the truth, because liars panic when facts show up. This movement is not driven by greatness. It's obviously driven by failure. These are men who had a 400-year head start and blew it. Instead of doing the work, they chose resentment. Instead of building skills, they chose to blame. Instead of evolving, they chose a con artist who made failure feel righteous. Trump gives failed men comfort. He tells them that their mediocrity is not their fault. Black success feels like white failure because it exposes the truth. Black excellence shines a light on laziness. Black resilience highlights weakness. And Black progress reveals who never developed real skill. And instead of competing, they complain. Instead of growing, they attack. Instead of admitting they fell short, they follow a man who made falling short patriotic. Donald Trump does not think he is like them. He is using them. He's exploiting their fear, their resentment, and their inability to keep up. And let's end with the truth America keeps avoiding. Donald Trump's rise to power did not reveal greatness. It revealed the true intellect of this country. It exposed how intellectually bankrupt and racially sick America still is. That a nation would rather choose a loud, lying con artist convicted of multiple felonies, siphoning money from the economy, than accept a Black man whose radical idea was health care for all. Donald Trump did not trick America. America chose him, and that choice told the world everything it needed to know about who this country protects, who it fears, and who it is willing to sacrifice to preserve white comfort. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this gem. So that is elitism, ladies and gentlemen. And we have fallen victim to elitism. I mean, it's destroyed every aspect. It's tried to destroy it because we're resilient. You think about this. So all of the things, the efforts, all of the benefits that white people got as a result of their privilege in this country, we didn't get. We didn't get our 40 acres, but they got 276 million acres of land through the Homestead Act. We didn't get the GI Bill when our veterans came home from the war, but they did. We didn't get FHA loans when they were getting FHA loans. So we're about 50 years behind on building wealth than they were. But yet 44% of us are homeowners. That's a beautiful thing because real estate is the number one way to build wealth. So we're still resilient, but there's been an attack. Think about all the experiments that happen to Black people, the health experiments. Think about what happens within the justice system, within the police system, within the healthcare system. We are under attack. And we have to understand. But the biggest attack that we have, Black people, is an attack that we have within ourselves, because we've adopted those talking points. We adopted those thinkings. We've adopted the idea that our self-worth is so low that we are willing to kill each other. And so it's time for us to wake up. And so we need more people sounding the alarm. I want you to send this out to all your people. I want you to stop right now. And I need you to send this out to all your people, because I don't want to just tell you about the problems. I'm going to tell you about the solution. So we're going to talk about how to really set goals this year. I do this because I love us. I do this because I love Black people. Like I said, my goal is to help Black people build wealth, keep their wealth, pass their wealth, because our wealth will not be a zero in 2053. Not if I can have anything to do with it. But we have to be more than just hearers of the word. We have to be doers. We have to take action. We have to invest in ourselves. We have to do all of those things so that we could be the lender and not the borrower. We could be the owner and not the renter. How many of y'all tired of being renters? Renters are great. We're always going to have renters. And if you're an investor, guess what? You're always going to have renters, because there are always going to be people in need. Rent has never gone down. Rent has always gone up. And understand, if you're in a position of power, then you're in a position also to be able to have it. So I just want to encourage you now just to look at all of these things, just to see why we're here. But let's talk about a solution, because that's what I really want to talk about. That's why I come live here every day. So before I get started on my daddy's calling. My daddy. Before I get started on the goal setting, because I really want to tell you how to really get down and to define your goals. I want to tell you why I'm here. I come on here every day. I have trainings so that you can, all those things you can invest. Like I said, I invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in my professional development. The reason why I built the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California, I did that single-handedly. The reason why I've written several best-selling books, I did that. It's because I invest in myself. The reason why I own a cannabis dispensary in Stockton, California, you better believe it, because I did that. That's what I did. I've invested in myself. The reason why I have real estate properties and I've had commercial properties and I'm able to lead Black people from all over the world, because I invest in myself. And so the things that I bring here to you for free every day, like tomorrow I have a gym masterclass, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But the reason why I do it is because I just want to educate us, because I believe in us. I believe that we are more than what they say we are. So I have the gym club, the Grow Your Money Club. This is for everybody. And if you don't know about the Grow Your Money Club, here it is. While everybody else is out here blowing their money, you about to be growing your money. How? Inside the Grow Your Money Club, this is your one-stop wealth building training hub designed to help you build, grow, invest, and diversify your income. You have the credit bundle, which is going to help you to increase your credit IQ with business credit, personal credit, with the credit repair masterclass. And then you have the real estate bundle. This is where we're going to show you how to invest in tax deeds, land banks, how to buy a house separately from your spouse, the Living Trust ebook, and from Campus Cash Flows, showing your children how to become real estate investors. In the investor bundle, you're going to learn how to invest using Robinhood, the investor success formula, and the wealth map 6-phase blueprint that shows you how to build, grow, and invest your money. And finally, the business builder bundle. This is where we show you how to establish your entity and build business credit, how to obtain government contracts, how to create jaw-dropping video content, how to write and publish your best-selling book, and even how to bring your idea to life. You can purchase each training a la carte, get the bundle that fits your goals, or unlock the 12-month roadmap, which is your full access pass to every single training inside the Grow Your Money Club. While they're spending, you stacking. While they're watching, you winning. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen to what I say. I do this for us. So if you are interested in the Grow Your Money Club, go to growyourmoney.club. These are for you. These, again, like I said, with everything I do, and everything that I've learned over the years, I just try to teach what I know. That's it. I just try to teach what I know. Everybody's invited. Everybody's welcome. Anybody could take it. And I don't discriminate against anybody. But again, My concern is people who look like me, because we've had, the most hardships in this country, and it continues to happen. And I believe that it's very intentional. And so the only way that we can fight back is if we unite. Divided we fall, and we've been divided long enough. We've adopted the talking points of those people about who we are. But you got to wonder why they don't fear the weak. They fear the powerful. And so that's the fear of folks that are in power. They know that their birth rates are going down. There's a fear of the browning of America. Donald Trump said he wants people from white countries to come over. He doesn't want people from shithole countries that look like me and a lot of these people, a lot of people on here. He doesn't want people who look like us. He wants white people. They have a fear. What did Public Enemy say? Of a black planet. And there's nothing that they can do about it outside of trying to kill us. I don't know if you, I posted something about it some months ago. They have, they know for a fact that they did experiments in South Africa and put AIDS in those countries to destroy black people. They've done this intentionally. They do not want this country to be black. And we ain't going nowhere. We're the dominant gene. But I do believe that black people in America and all over the world, but black people in America, we've been a social experiment. We've been an experiment. And you think about where we are today and how divided we are as a people. When you look at the podcast, what's on the podcast? You got the red pill and the blue pill. You got the men against the women. You got the young against the old. You got the light skin against the dark skin. People will come on here and be like, "Oh, what you talk about, black? You got your blonde weave, and I'm black. No matter what I do with my hair, I can't help my skin tone, but I am black. I am a black woman." But there's a lot of division inside our community. And I really believe that, again, it goes back to systematic racism. It goes back to an imbalance of our ecosystem. We have the largest gap between men and women than any other race in this country. There is 52% black women compared to 48% black men. Every other race is closer to 50-50 or maybe 51-49. But 52 to 48, that's huge. That means the imbalance between black men and black women is huge. And what it's done is it created a sense of scarcity and entitlement. Scarcity on the side of black women. Oh, I'm talking about something totally different. Scarcity on the side of black women, right? Oh, I gotta find a man, and I'm settling for a man. And then these black men being more effeminate, acting like they're the prize. For a black man to say that they're the prize. And my good friend Noma Lenga, she was telling me she lives in Botswana, and she was saying how in Botswana, the men pay a dowry. There's a price that they pay for their women over there. That the value that they place upon the women, and the value that men don't place upon the women. But it's because of the imbalance of the black ecosystem. That's what it is. So we got to get back to basics, y'all. We really got to get back to basics, and we got to get back to who we really are. My son, you know what? My son, I was on the phone with my son last night. I was on the phone. My son was in my room last night till 2:00 in the morning. He and I were talking. I'm gonna show y'all this video. My son and I were talking till 2:00 in the morning. And oh my God, let me tell you something. I know I'm rattling y'all, but this is important. You can be out there changing the world and saving lives and doing all these other things. But if your kids don't think anything of you, if your kids aren't impacted by who you are, then you ain't doing shit. And I could say truly that my children, they know. Each one of my kids, we all have individual. I have 4 children. I have 3 boys and a girl. And we all have individual relationships. But me and my oldest son, he's getting ready to go to a training. He's going back to Hampton. He goes to Hampton University. But this boy said that he was like, man, this is when I knew I did good in life. Where is it at? Is this it right here? Where is it at? Is this it? Is this the video?
Problem is, you niggas don't be excited to be men no more, bro. Like, I think that's really where we lost the plot, like, as a society. Like, we got these people trying to make it seem like being a man and being masculine is wrong the whole time, bro. Nigga, I love this shit. What? I love telling my lady, listen, bro, don't you touch that fucking door. You better not pull out a card if I got it. I love being a man, cause like you wake up feeling like you that nigga. Like you wake up and just choose to do the hard parts of life. Like you wake up and choose to go to that job that you may not like, but you know the paper good and it's gonna handle your, like, that's some man shit, you feel me? Daddy come on the phone talking about, I don't like the job that you working, but as a man, I understand. Man, what? When I tell you, I put the biggest smile on my face because I enjoy being a man. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being masculine, bro. I enjoy just being a man. Like, God made me a man. I'm finna, what? What, nigga, what? Being a man gotta be one of the greatest privileges in human history, bro. To be able to lead a family, to be able to be a leader of yourself, to be able to control yourself, to handle certain situations in such a manly way. Like, I love being a man. Fuck what y'all talking about.
I love it. I'm just saying. So my son told me, he said that pretty much summed up who he was. And when my son told me that, I knew that I did a good job. I knew that as a mother, I did a good job. If his thing is being a man, being a provider, taking care of my woman, opening doors. I used to my all three of my boys, they used to always run to the car so that they could open a door for me, or try to open a door for me. I made sure that they did that for me and their sister. And that's important. And so that's kind of what we've gotten away from. And that's what we need to get back to. Let me show you also. I got another son, y'all. I found out that my baby was a goddamn motivational speaker. This boy don't talk. If you've been with me for a little bit, I always talk about my kids and have these great relationships with my kids. And I'm like, that youngest son, though, I can't seem to crack the nut. He don't talk, right? And so then I found out that the boy is a whole ass motivational speaker on TikTok. Boy got numbers. This video right here got about, I don't know, 50,000 views or something like that. He's like doing content and he's like, it's amazing. But I'm just so proud.
God will give you when you're on the right path. The first one is resistance. When you're on this journey, whatever path you're on, there's going to be resistance. And resistance is only there to test your faith, to stay loyal and true to the process. I understand it's not meant to steer you away. Instead, it's made to ensure you're on the right path. The second one is isolation. God will often isolate you when you're on this new journey or new path. And oftentimes he isolates you to find your purpose. He removes people in your life to truly take a moment to self-reflect. What you got to understand is you need these seasons of isolation so you can focus on that journey and building yourself. And the third and final one is abundance of opportunities. God will open all these doors that have never been opened before when you're on the right path. Start to be put in positions that you've never thought you'd be put in. And it's going to seem like luck, but that's just God letting you know that you're on the right path.
That boy started out with 0 followers. He started in October. I didn't know, I knew a couple of weeks after my daughter secretly told me that he was a secret motivational speaker. And I have a little spam, I had a little spam TikTok page and I was looking at all of his stuff. And I didn't know that he already knew. He knew anyway, I thought I was looking, I secretly looking, but he was doing that. Started out with 0 followers. I know he got a couple thousand followers, but he's getting like numbers, like on YouTube. So if you follow my son, I think his name is Talk Dat SHIMIL or something like that. Talk Dat, that's his name. But follow my baby, give him some support. He is doing the damn thing. Talk Dat shit SHIMIL. But I'm that's what makes me proud. So I was just talking to a gentleman the other day and I said, you could do all of these things and effectuate change in all these people's lives and be all over the world. You have these pastors and they say that the preachers' kids be the worst ones because they're pouring into everybody else, but they're neglecting what's inside their house. You could be the best of the best of the best, but if your kids are neglected, if your kids are struggling, if they're suffering, then you failed. Because what good is it to profit the whole wide world and help the whole wide world and your kids? I have a great relationship with all 4 of my kids. And that's the biggest thing that I'm most proud of. But my goal is really, y'all, is to help Black people. And when we talk about goals, I'm not talking about goals because it sounds good. It's because it's January and everybody's posting these videos. They're posting these vision boards. I want to talk about goals because I've lived the cost of not having goals. I've lived the power of getting clear and disciplined when everything feels uncertain. Having a singularly focused, sharp goals is extremely important. I care about this because I've watched too many brilliant people stay stuck. We get stuck in analysis paralysis. We want to start doing things when we get perfect. It's not because people lack talent, it's because they never slowed down long enough to decide where they were actually going. Understand this is when you don't set goals, you default into other people's agendas. You're stuck in this conundrum. You're just going, you're in this cycle and you're on this wheel and you can't get off. It's other people's expectations, it's other people's emergencies. And that's going to drain your time, your money, and your peace. Goals affect every area of your life. Your finances, they follow your focus. Your relationship follows your boundaries. Your health follows your habits. Your future follows your decisions consistently. Okay? I really want you to understand this. I want to have this conversation with you because I believe that clarity is an act of self-respect. Sitting down and deciding what you want, how much you want to earn, how much you want to live, how you want to feel, and who you need to become to get there, that changes everything. Your goals really force you to look at yourself in the mirror. It forces you to be honest with yourself. They expose the distractions. And believe me, I'm one of those people that I've gotten distracted. This is the biggest productivity killer, but it could also be the biggest thing that you have, the biggest tool that you use in your toolbox. People spend thousands of hours. One of my favorite books that I have the ladies in Net 7 Collective read is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And I believe that we're outliers. I believe that we're women that are doing certain things, that are operating at a certain level. But in order to be an outlier, you have to do certain things. And so in that book, he talks about 10,000 hours. How are you spending your 10,000 hours? When you look at, just the preparation, he gave examples about like how Bill Gates was coding for 10,000 hours or how the Beatles were playing for 10,000 hours. He had all of these examples, and how, when you're born, it matters and just things like that. But really, I just really want to focus on the 10,000 hours. What are you doing with that 10,000 hours? What are you doing when you get up every morning? Are you resetting? I have this thing called the ramp. In fact, I have a book. And if you don't know, I just came out with this journal last month and it's doing very, very well on Amazon, but it's the ramp. It's a journal. And this is what I live by. This is the thing that helps me get up every single morning. RAMP stands for rise, affirm, meditate, and pray. And it helps me to get centered and it helps me to get focused every single morning. So instead of spending your morning in just scrolling, because that's a productivity thief, spend your morning doing things that are intentional about being the best version of yourself that day. If you wake up and say, today's going to be a effed up day, guess what? Today's going to be an effed up day. But if you're intentional about how you spend your day, what you do every day in the morning before you start your day, it's going to be the difference in your success. I care because I want you to stop surviving cycles and start building systems. I want you to stop hoping things are going to change and start creating the conditions that make change inevitable. It starts with you about being intentional. I want you to be able to look up from a year from now and not be able to recognize your life. I want your life to be unrecognizable in the next year. So this conversation about goals is bigger than 2026. This is about you taking ownership of your life. It's about you taking ownership of your time, about your money. It's a holistic perspective. I want for you more than anything to be able to live life on your own terms. So let's be intentional about how we're setting goals. Let's be intentional about not playing small. Let's be intentional about being intentional about who we are and how we operate in this world and how we make a difference and how we make impact, not just on ourselves, but on other people. Because what you do for other people and how you help other people, it helps you. This is the reason why I do these things for free, is because everything that I pour into other people, I give back tenfold. I'm blessed beyond measure. I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't keep no information. I give because God is constantly giving to me. So I'm not a hoarder and I'm going to say, oh, I'm keeping all of this stuff for myself. I'm giving it to you. So take out your pen and your pad. I want to give you the 5 steps to goal setting, and then we're going to get up out of here because I know we've been talking. Okay, so get your pen and your pad. And if you don't have a pen and a pad, I want you to put this in the comments, okay? So there's 5 steps to setting all goals. And of course, we can go into this even more. I'm doing a kickoff for Net 7 Collective. And if you don't know anything about Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation, that is my passion. That's what I do. I coach Black women from all over the country. And so
Everybody, it's your girl Constance Carter, and I want to invite you to the Net 7 Nation kickoff. Who is this for? This is for everybody who's part of the Net 7 Collective. This is for anybody who is part of the Net 7 Nation. And this is anybody who wants to be a part of the Net 7 Nation. What is this kickoff? This is for Black women who want to start the year off right. You're going to be able to come inside and see what it is that we do inside the collective and the nation. You're going to be around some dope ass women who are changing the world. You are going to get clarity on your vision for 2026. And you're just going to be in a room full of positivity, love, warmth, growth, and other Black women who are looking to elevate, who need alignment, accountability, and just a fresh start. This is for everybody, and it's absolutely free. So if you want to join us for our kickoff meeting, tap the link on this post.
Ooh, there ain't no link on the post. Let me give you guys the link. This is for Black women. I know we got some Black men watching, but this is for Black women. And so what the Net 7 Collective is this is a community of women that I coach. I share everything. I share all my skills. I share everything that I know. I've helped them write books. We're all authors. Where's my book? We have a book that we wrote last year called Unbreakable. 17 of them are authors on this book. So I showed them how to write books. I've showed them how to build their businesses. I've showed them how to, those who have businesses, scale their businesses. I showed them how to become speakers. I've given them access on my platform. I've shown them how to invest in real estate and stock. I've showed them how to speak, articulate their value proposition, who they are, how to create their brand, how to build their brand. I showed them all of these things constantly. I've showed them how to create merchandise, to have other revenue streams, to have passive income. These are the things that I show the women inside my collective, inside my circle. Every single week we meet and I coach them to their greatness. And so I'm having a meeting, and this is a kickoff meeting for our Net 7 Collective, our Net 7 Nation, which are our local chapters. But anybody who wants to come just to kind of be in this and see what it is that we do and see who we are, this is this Wednesday. So if you are a Black woman, or you know a Black woman, have them come and join us. Let me put the link in here. And you are welcome, but you got to register if you want to be a part of it. So there's a link right there. Click on that. Boom. Okay. So if you want to do that, Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation kickoff is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So that's 4 p.m. Pacific, wherever you are in the world. And I don't know if you're across the pond, you're invited too, because we have women all over the world that are actually part of our community. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to have a vision for your goals. We're talking goal setting. What is your vision? Okay. So if we're talking about from a biblical perspective, the Bible says that those without a vision, my people who don't have a vision, they perish. Okay. So what is your vision? I want you to have in your mind, where do you want to be in the next 12 months? Let's say 12 months. What do you want to accomplish? I want you to think about that. I want to give you a second. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. And I just want you to focus on that. How do I want my life to be unrecognizable? How do I want my life to look the next 12 months? I want you just to think about it. Just think about it. I want to have a vision. I want to be on vacations, or I want to be in this certain job, or I want to build this business. What does unrecognizable look like for you? 30 seconds. So somebody put in the comments, your first step is to have a vision, is to visualize it. My people perish without a vision. Sophia says she wants to build her business. Well, that's the second step. So I want you to write in the chat, visualize it. That's the first step to goal setting. Visualize it. Write it in the chat. Then I'll go to the second step. Boom. Visualize. All right. The second step is to write down the vision and make it plain. Again, we're talking biblical, right? So these are universal principles, or biblical principles. Whatever walk of life you're in, write down that vision. So that thing that you just thought in your mind. Sophia said, I want to build my business. Well, what does that look like? And I want you to get really specific on, what does building my business look like? What is the business? How is it going to function? Ultimately, what's the goal in what that business looks like? So I want you to write down that vision, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write down that vision anywhere. Write down the vision and make it plain. So if you can write it, my goals are in my phone, in my notes. Okay? So write down the vision and make that vision plain for you, for nobody else. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. All right, somebody post in the comments, write it. Write it. Somebody put it in the comments, write it. Somebody put in the comments, write it, so I can go to the next step. So think it, write it. Somebody go to the next, let's write it in the comments. There we go. Write it. All right. Write it. Write it. Okay. So you have to visualize it. You write it down. Third step is you speak it. I want you to speak life over your affirmations. Somebody is vacuuming? I want you to speak life over your life. I want you to speak life over your goals. So I want you to utilize your goals as your affirmations. Every single morning, I want you to affirm with yourself, with your God, with the universe, your goals. What it is that you want to do. So right now, I want you to speak out loud what that goal looks like for you. Okay? So I'm going to give you a moment to verbalize or speak your goals, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. You need to speak life into your goals, because your words are prophetic. Whatever you say is going to happen. Whatever you say is going to manifest. So whatever it is that you want, Net 7 Collective came out of me fasting, meditating, doing this ramp. I said I wanted to help Black women, and now I'm helping Black women all over the world, making an impact. I spoke life into my goals. That was a goal of mine. I spoke life into my real estate business. Yeah, I said I wanted to build a real estate business. I didn't have a goal to build the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, but I did. I had a goal to invest in marijuana. That wasn't even something that I did on purpose. It was just, I set the intention and I made myself available. I said, I was at a conference and I was talking to this brother, and he was talking about marijuana. It's something that I had never even thought about before. And he said, I really want to invest in marijuana because, brothers have been penalized and, locked up. And now these white boys are making millions and billions and trillions of dollars off of the same thing. And I said, wow, I want to invest in real estate. I'm not real estate. I want to invest in cannabis. I don't know anything about cannabis. I don't smoke weed outside of the experimenting I did in high school, but I'm not a weed smoker. It's not something that I do. And one day a girlfriend called me. She said, I got a line on a cannabis dispensary. And I was like, how much of a check do I need to write? And it was a 6-figure investment. And thankfully, I was in a position to be able to write that 6-figure check, and it paid off, and I still get paid from it. And I had this dispensary, I want to say since 2017, 2018. And this is for my children. This is their legacy. But this was something that I spoke, something, an intention that I set. So your words are prophetic. So speak those things as if they are, and they will be. And the people who don't believe in this are the people who aren't doing anything. They're not achieving any goals because they don't believe that they can. That belief is everything. That intention is everything. And if you set, once you set the intention, God is going to do everything he can to make it happen. But you got to be a believer and know it. You got to think it. You got to write it. You got to speak it. And the fourth thing you got to do is you got to work it. Faith without works is dead. You got to put yourself in a position so that you can have all those things. Because you can think and try to manifest and dream and all that stuff. But if you're not putting any work behind it, it's not going to happen. So the fourth thing, think it, write it. Oh, actually, you guys didn't write in the chat to speak it. Write in the chat to speak it. Somebody put in the chat to speak it. And then I want you to put in there to work it. So put the third step is speak it. Put that in the chat. Put speak it in. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Sophia. Speak it. Okay. And the next one is to work it. Because faith without works is dead. So your thinking, writing, and speaking is the vehicle, but you work it is the gasoline. That's putting the fuel in the tank so that it can happen. You can't lay up and think that it's going to happen. And then the fifth step is receive it. One of my favorite scriptures is don't be weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap your harvest. Here's the other part. If you faint not. So getting really clear on what your goals are is extremely important, to have a vision for your life and whatever that looks like. If that's relationships, if that's weight loss, if that's money, if that's your career, if that's your family, whatever that looks like, having a vision and executing on it. Because here's the thing, you don't want life to dictate you. You want to dictate life. And most of us are out here having life just kind of dictate us. We just out here just living, and whatever comes our way, we're going to fight those battles when they get here. That's not the way to live. Of course, God has the ultimate say, but you, in what you do, and the decisions you make, and the intentions that you set, you are the author, and you're the captain of your ship. And whatever you do and whatever decisions that you make, being intentional about who you are, where you go, what your life looks like, that's all on you. And if you do those 5 things, if you have a vision for your life, you write it down, you speak that thing every day, like it's your affirmation. That's your life. You put that work in it, you're gonna receive it. That is a biblical principle. That's a universal principle. And that's every single successful person out there that has had any amount of success. They had the audacity to dream it, put themselves in a position to do it, and then actually manifest it. It's a real thing. So people who operate at high levels, they do this. The people that just allow life to dictate them, they're just letting life dictate them. But the question is, what is it that you want? What do you want out of life? How do you want to live? Do you want to live with purpose? I was talking about that to my son last night till 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. We were talking about living life with what's your purpose? And, you know, my thing is, I have this purpose to help so many people, specifically Black people. But if I'm not helping my children, then I failed. So what is your real purpose? And the purpose should be about impact. It should not be a self-absorbing and selfish thing. It should be how you impact others, the things that you do to effectuate change in other people's lives. How do you add value to other people's lives? That's the thing that we have to look at. How am I adding value? What is it that I'm doing? There are a couple of hundred of you guys on here today. And I just want you, number one, I want you to share this with the people who need to hear this. But I want you to just not be a hearer of this word. And I want you to be a doer. I want you to make 2026 your best year ever. Today is my first day back at work. And, you know, next, after I get off here with y'all, I got to get on with my team, Catalyst. And we're going to talk about, you know, just kind of how we're going to navigate through 2026. What is it that you are going to do to make you the most effective so that you can operate at an optimal level, so that you can achieve all your goals? You can live life on your own terms, and you could just live a blessed life. Yo, I could die today just with everything that I have in terms of like all the impact that I'm making and all the folks that I'm helping and the children that, I wouldn't want to leave my kids behind, but I'm happy with what I am. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And the question is for you is, are you happy with what you're doing? The worst thing in the world that you can do in life is to become at the end of your life and have regrets. The worst thing that you can do with your life is to be at the end of your life and have regrets. So today is time to take hold of your life and live it how you want to live it, not how life dictates you. You dictate your life. And so it starts by you having a vision and being intentional and about working it. Those are the things that you need to do. That's your goal. Those are your goal settings. I could talk about measurable goals. I could talk about attainable goals. I could talk about big, hairy, scary goals that are out in the atmosphere, but they're just some simple things that you need to do in order to reach your goals. And if you take those steps, I promise you, you'll do it. I promise you, you'll get there. So for those of you guys, again, tomorrow, I am doing a gym masterclass. If you don't know, I do these gym masterclasses every Tuesday. And that actually came out of this book that I have. I wrote this journal. And if you don't have it, get on Amazon and get it because it's life-changing. It's life transformational. But I was in my ramp and I was doing my morning meditation. And I said, I was just talking to God. And I was like, how do I add value to myself and other people? How can I really add value? And this gym masterclass was birthed out of that. Like, here's something that you could do. You can give people free information. So I, of course I do this, right? I come on here live and I try to give you gyms, things that you could use. But also on Tuesdays, I give you a live masterclass for free. It's stuff I charge for thousands of dollars. I give it to you for free. So every Tuesday, I give something. So tomorrow I'm doing a training on living trust fundamentals. And boy, that's a topic that a lot of people need to know about. So you're going to learn the difference between a will and living trust. You're going to learn how to keep your family out of probate court, what to include in your trust, how to build generational wealth that really lasts. So if you have not signed up for the gym masterclass, that's tomorrow at 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. And that is absolutely free. So make sure that you go and sign up for that. That's tomorrow. Also, I'm doing a training called Bring Your Idea to Life. This was going to be on the 10th and 11th, but I had to reschedule that to the 31st of the month. Now, this is for those of you who want to start a business. For those who want clarity, you want to be able to identify, build your brand, articulate your unique value proposition. I'm doing a training at the end of this month. This is for everybody, men and women. And this has been an amazing training. Let me see. Do I have a video in here from somebody? Oh, here goes a video from one of the last trainings.
Hi, I must say that this training has been an absolute blessing to me. Constance has made me awake in ways that I never thought. She has pulled out things for me that I didn't want to be pulled out. I think she has, even though she doesn't say it's a gift, I think she has a gift whereas she can see something in us that we may not be able to see in ourselves. And she doesn't stop until she pulls it out of you. She wants the best, I believe, in her teaching. And I think she makes sure that you don't settle for less than the best. When she comes with her all, and you can genuinely feel her sincerity and her speaking to you and her teaching you. And she wants you to not just accept for mediocre. I thank her for making me see that, yes, my business vision is possible. The sky is the limit. And if my mind is made up, then what's stopping me? Nothing can stop me other than Linda. If God is with me, who can be against me? I am determined to make my business flourish and be what it should be. And it's all because Constance was willing to take the time to have this training. I can even take it again. I am so elated and excited about what she has done for me as a person. It is the best workshop I've ever been to. And I thank her for being determined to pull out of us what she knew that's in us because of what's in her and because of where she has been. So because of her journey, I am now here able to sit and speak with her and look to be a better person on my journey and to help somebody else along the way. Thank you, Constance. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
So this training, this boot camp is January 31st to February the 1st. If you are interested, there's an early bird pricing, I think 149 or something like that, but it's 2 days intensive. And the seating is limited on this. The reason why the seating is limited is because I work with you personally on you value proposition. I work with you, so I can't have a bunch of people in this training. So this seating is limited. So if you're interested in this intensive workshop, and that's to work with me on you building your brand, building your business, whatever that looks like, go to bring your idea the number 2 life.com. Let me see if I have it in here. Bring your idea the number 2 life.com. Right here. So go here if you are interested. That's January 31st through February the 1st, this training, Bring Your Idea to Life. Also, again, the Living Trust workshop is tomorrow. And then I have a new series called Receipts. This is not my live, but I'm excited about it. This is on my YouTube channel. Let me see. And here it is. Hey, this is your girl, Constance Carter, and this is Receipts. This is the first episode of informational series about Black history. I call it Receipts because it's all about facts over feelings, history over lies. I guess that's it. So that's let me get back on. That is Receipts. That's, come on. There we go. That's a new documentary series that I have that I do every 2 weeks. So it's on my YouTube page right now. And I just kind of get surgical with just facts. Like it's facts over feelings. It's history over lies. You know, they're trying to take a lot of our history out of the books, and they're trying to reframe a lot. And so I'm bringing you the receipts. I'm giving you the historical context. I'm talking about the money, the statistics, like I'm breaking it all the way down. I get real surgical with it. So that's on my YouTube channel. If you're not following me, go to because I know that, again, people are on Twitter right now. People are on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, and then you're on YouTube. But this is on YouTube exclusively, and it's called Receipts. So if you are interested in watching that, the first one was why Black success is framed as white failure. And then I do this whiteboard to kind of break it down, and I tell you how much we lost and how much they gained, and what that gap looks like. But again, the important things is how to get it back, and that's what I really want to focus on. Is what do we do? I don't want to pontificate ad nauseum about what people did to us. Yeah, I want to talk about it, absolutely, because you need to understand why it is we're here, because we've also blamed ourselves for things that other people have done. We should take accountability, absolutely, for the things that we do, but we've blamed ourselves as if the playing field has been even, as if there has not been injustices that have happened upon us. We blame ourselves as if we don't have all of these hurdles that we've had to overcome, and yet we're still resilient. So I want us to understand where it is, not to cripple us, and I'm not being apologetic about anything, and it's not to blame anybody, and it's not any of that. It's really to get you to understand why we're here, but most importantly, how do we get out of it? And that's what my whole life is. So again, like I said, my goal, and I exist to help Black people build wealth. I exist to help you to maintain your wealth, and I exist to help you to pass your wealth as well. And passing it, I have the Living Trust workshop is tomorrow. So wait, did I show y'all that? Living Trust. So the gym masterclass, I think I did. So the Living Trust fundamentals is tomorrow. Yeah, I did. So if you haven't signed up yet, I think there was a couple of hundred people that were signed up when I looked this morning. Make sure that you sign up for the gym masterclass, the Living Trust fundamentals. I have a Living Trust ebook it's been selling like crazy, but it's really to help you to be able to pass your wealth on to your children and your children's children. Because the worst thing that you can do is have the courts up in your business. I've had them in my business, and that's not what you want. So that's extremely important, is just making sure that we just have all of our affairs in order, all of them. And so that's what that is. So I'll be here tomorrow, gym masterclass. Wednesday, April and I will be back, baby. Thursday, oh my God, Dr. Jones, she's doing a series. Let me tell you what series she's doing. She is doing a series on we are doing a series. Where's Dr. Jones? It's on health. This first one is cortisol is expensive, how denying pleasure drains your wallet. And she's gonna talk about sexual health over the next few weeks. We're gonna talk about sexual health. But Dr. Jones is she's a part of the Net 7 Collective, and she's also a physician, and she talks about all things health, because wealth is holistic. It's not just about the money in your bank. It's about your mind. It's about your body. It's about your spirit. It's about your family. It's about your relationships. It's about all that. So that's what I try to address on this channel. All right. So tell your friends. Constance Carter is back, baby. Let them know tomorrow is the gym masterclass where we're talking about living trust. And I'll be able to answer some questions live on that tomorrow as well. Wednesday, me and April. Thursday, Dr. Jones. And then I think I'll be back with the Fly Nubian Money Ladies. All right. So, Wednesday night, Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation kickoff. So if you are interested in joining us for the Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation kickoff, the link is in here. If you didn't see it, let me put it back in here again before I get out of here. Because I got to go. Actually, I got to go and I got to talk to my team. I got to go and motivate them for the year. All right. So that's for the Net 7. This is for Black women for Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Join us. Join our call so that you can see what the Net 7 Collective is about. No strings, no money, no investment, no nothing. Come on and join us. Black women. All right. Bet. See you tomorrow for the gym masterclass. I won't be here. I won't be on this channel. So if you want to be a part of the gym masterclass, you got to register, and then you'll get a link to where I'm going to be. All right.